All right, hi everybody. I was thumbnail for the stream. They're yellow and blue, probably. Um, let's see. Let's see. I'm running out of ideas here. All right, there we go. That's good enough. Port. Uh, actually, grid. Oh no, it was screenshots. That as boom thumbnail. Great. And now let's get modeling. Actually, maybe let's get planning first. Um, so as I basically there's three, well, there's four main sections of the game. I want the castle, King lives, and also where your quest comes from. That's number one. Number two, I want the town. Currently, it's going to have two buildings in it. It's going to have a coffee shop and a clothing store, and they're both very expensive. Great. So how do you get the money? You go to number three, the dungeon, full of monsters, etc. Fine. Small town. Heck, I already lost it. Um, this. some music. We're now playing. Okay. No capture name. Great. Drop that. Actually, you don't need to know how long it's been. Not playing. Go. Great. What game engine am I using? Right now, well, this stream is mostly going to be in Blender, which is a 3D modeling program, but I'm using the Godot engine. I should probably put that in the stream. Thanks for the suggestion. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's gotten pretty popular today, or like these days. I've heard that like a lot of people in the GMTK jam were using it. Dungeon Castle. Fourth thing I wanted. Are you making anything cool in Godot? Okay, let's just stick with the. Let's just stick with these three. So for the castle, I just need an interior. I think I've already got the throne, so I could just like pop that in there. What do I need? I need like curtains, sort of a staircase type thing. Throne goes here. Doesn't look like a throne at all. Maybe some candles? I don't know. How spooky do I want it to be? 3D horror game. So, game development, generally, especially the indies, don't make a ton of money on it. I mean, I wish you the best of luck. But, if you can make money, go for it. But I just want to warn you that, like, if you're going into it expecting it to be, like, a thing that makes you money rather than a thing that, like, you enjoy doing, might be disappointing. Because, you know, so if you're selling on itch, this is different. itch.io doesn't take your money, so you get, so someone pays $10, you get $10, right? But it's very small. Right, here's Steam. It's fucking huge. Now, Steam, it's $100 to get on there. If you make 1,000, you get that money back. So not a big deal, but they also take 30%. So if someone buys your game for $10, you get $7, and often it's even less than that, minus taxes and stuff. So if a player spends $10, it's pretty normal for you to only get like 5 somewhere in there. And so, you know, a new PC. I don't know where you're located in the world. But a new PC where I'm at, that's like a significant upgrade, costs somewhere in the 600 range. So what is that? That's 1,200 copies sold of a $10 game, somewhere in there. And that's a big ask. So yeah, just like don't let me discourage you from making a game, but do let me discourage you from like assuming it will actually make you money. You should be making games for fun, because making games for money, it's a little bit of a fool's errand, unfortunately. Wait, no, 1,200. So that's actually no, that'll be 120, right? Yeah, sorry, not 1,200, 120. You need to sell about 120 copies of a $10 game to make about 600, which is about a nice-ish. And obviously those numbers are all going to be completely different depending on where you live. I unfortunately don't know a ton about the way that the economy works in the Arab-speaking world, or not the wait, not what was it? Arabic-speaking world. There we go. So I couldn't tell you. You know, maybe a $600 PC here is like 1,000, you know, over there or something. Fortunately, I do not know. But at least with Godot, they don't take anything from you, so you know you're paying Steam 30%, but you're paying Godot 0%, which is nice. Should start doing stream clips. I really need to start doing stream. What am I doing? We got the castle. We need. Well, you know what? Let's just open Blender. Okay, so I need like long steps. Same. Drawing in perspective is hard. Let's go into edit mode. G X 5. -5. There we go. 1. Go. And now I want an array modifier. One. That's an offset. That's an offset. On the Y is 2 meters. No, nothing on the... Great, now we can just... as many steps as we want. Great. Bye. Tracer and change. Keep that on for now. Now we need I'm supposed to group A shift A mesh. Kung Fu fighting. Okay. Oh, thanks for joining me. You're currently trying to make a throne room. I've made really decent looking stairs. I'm gonna face her into made these decent looking stairs. Yeah, right here. Oh, my great. There we go. X. Great. X. Okay. Well, I hope you don't get too distracted. Y. Happened here. Whatever. Y. Oh, okay. Um, There we go. Oh, 50. L. Bad idea. modifier. Oh, what did I do? Oh. Slightly missed a line. Hit mode. Well, what I'm going for is just an impressive look. Yeah. Listening to Weezer? What's with? I thought is Kung Fu Fighting? What does that have to do with? Does that have anything to do with Kung Fu Fighting, or am I missing something? Okay, Wizard. Okay, that's valid. That's valid. I feel like I need some filler material. Filler material. There's a Weezer poster I saw on sale the other day and I was kind of tempted, I'll be honest. Alright, I guess this needs walls. Um hmm. Let's see. I'll just okay, alright. Okay, cute. I'm in edit mode. What do I do? I I'll just up like 40's a little tall. Realizing this is actually kind of an unimpressive. Maybe that's funny though. big. Dr. Pepper. Okay. Can't argue with that. Ah, the beers are very small, actually. How big is this place? Okay, so... Oh, there's actually a ton of human scale. Let me just... Seth, you should probably be happy to know that I spent a lot of time researching random Swedish stuff. Like, I got really into, like, what was it like to get Swedish coffee service, you know, between 1650 and was that King Charles the 12th banned coffee in Sweden? Of leaving Sweden. Okay, whatever. It was banned. It did happen. And so I found my basically I want to have I'm not going to be like 100% accurate cuz do not right. I only speak Spanish sort of. Japanese, Chile, and you know, obviously I'm speaking English right now. Oh, and I can count. I speak a tiny bit of German. Yeah, it was. There's this. Basically, people are all laughing at is it Sweden's first clinical trial? I've read about this. This is fun. Oh, Gustav the Third. Okay, well, wait, who's no Charles the Second? Liked, sorry, it's Charles the 12th. Charles the 12th really liked coffee. Come on, Charles the 12th coffee. Yeah. Yeah, Charles the 12th. Dang it! Why is it not as a Wikipedia page? Get on this Wikipedia. Oh yeah, this thing. Okay, so this is hilarious. So basically, there's a pair of twins who are condemned to death. But wait, when did this actually happen? Nice. It's called Storm. This. Ah, okay. I will read about that later. But yeah, the twin study is really funny. So basically, twin study, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. But you need more than 2 people, right? And yeah, so yeah, they both outlived both the. I guess I didn't say this here, but I read somewhere else that they outlived the king. They outlived the doctor whose job it was to take care of them, and the coffee drinking twin died later. So whatever Gustav was trying to prove failed. I can't believe King Charles XII's coffee thing isn't on. England. I want Sweden. This. Nope, same issue. Dang it. This is really pretty. Look at that. I want one of those. Okay. I was planning my models. So yeah, well, roughly. Right, actually. Image. Paste image. Reference. Did I make the statues? I don't know. I think I'll just. All the crowns here. Crowns. There's a lot of details here that I do like, though. The thing's also really tall. Much taller than I'm making. Whatever, we got the castle. I could probably just, like, placeholder it, just say... Whatever. Okay, so I need a throne. The throne... That. Wait. Whatever. Not gonna worry about it being. And then um okay, I'm just gonna call that good. So dungeon. Oh yeah, dungeon. I have something for Let me write a quick program. So I have this notebook here. I wrote a dungeon line thingum. Basically just a set of tables. Probably be faster to program it than to write it. Okay. Dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Integer. Okay. So what I'm doing right here is just making a thing that'll automate. It'll make sense once I've actually gotten it. Oh, run that. Print. Understand. Okay, so this is actually super simple. This is randi range, so random integer range between 1 and 6. It needs to be a string so I can print it, so I'm turning it into a string. And then I'm just adding some text here to make it easier. And this is D6, D8, D4. all pretty straightforward. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just take this prompts I wrote down, program. Function short for function. This is just a reusable piece of code. There's a switch statement. I would say just start with Python. It's really friendly. It's really easy to learn. C, C++, and C# are both strong. Like, they're both powerful languages, but they're not good languages to start with because there's a lot of complexity. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah. If you already understand Python, then you should be fine to move on to bigger and better. Yeah. All programming languages are pretty straightforward once you understand the basics. Although I think that the other thing is that what language you're using doesn't really have an effect on what you can. Um, Wait, what am I doing? I don't need to make the depend on anything. So like what every coding language is exactly? What specific projects are you working on? Like, really, the way you learn programming, in my experience, find a problem you want to solve, and you. So in this case, what I want to do, I want to have a fast, automated way to design a dungeon. What this is going to do is it's just going to give me a list of rooms, basically, and then I can sort of put this together to make a dungeon. Okay, well, have fun Writing a script in Python. I wrote an interesting script where I took a bunch of free books and I basically um, sorted their contents by rarity, and then made a sort of a sample of that rarity for a statistics class I was in. Oh yeah, Zorg's a good example. Have you actually played Zorg? I have not. Yeah, I own the game on Steam. I just haven't played it. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I own the Zork. What the hell? A low price of $900. You can get every Activision. There's, I think it's also there's like several different ways to make a list. Depends. What I'm doing here is I'm just trying to see. Oh, that broke. That's not, I did infinite recursion, whoops. Oh, okay. So I do have to test it organically. There we go. So that does work. Wait, what happens if I get multiple 9s? I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay. Okay, so Girl. I'm glad you appreciate my humor. That's just if I goofed it up, if I made a mistake here. So this is doing a thing between 0 and 9. So if it's number other than 0 through 9, then something goofed. Am I still finding my mic? Sure, whatever. Oh, did my Spotify now playing break? Second monitor. And put OBS on. Oh, come on. Add. There we go. Yeah. Here we go. Mario? I might go grab some coffee. Yeah. Programming. Go. One more of these. 7 more, so 1. Alright. 5.20. That one. In this one, var. Read this one. Yeah, we're getting like Kevin McLeod. What's going on here? I have the same error. Now we're fine. Now, code. Six by six room with 2 doors. So that connect. My door. Now we're cooking with dungeon. All rooms recently. Four by seven. So give the entry here. And let's make this the last room. Good cat over there. She's doing her little stretches. Make sure. I'll drop that. File. Blender. No. Top view is 7. Okay. Oh yeah, we're in blurry vision now. One sec, I gotta clean up some cat vomit. What did you? Okay, that was just a little bit of a hairball. All right. Huh. Anyway. Huh. Maybe each room should be its own thing. Oh, I didn't actually write down the prompt. Well, it's a small read, but I'll have it for later. Bum, bum, bum. Wonder. Okay. Make it. You could also just like make it the right size and work out everything else later. Okay. Why? Stone cube. Why? About right? So it was 10 by 10, so about 3 meters for one square. So the 1 unit equals. Yeah, so 10 feet. Yeah, one. So X. I actually kind of like that the rooms are all different heights. It does give it that sort of cavern. Exactly how I want to connect that out later. like a maybe a 1 meter, like a 1.1 meter cylinder. Right. Yep. Okay. Actually, um, so 2 meters. Just make it like scale with everything and worry about exact. Here we go. I'll just make it all feel right to scale, and then we can always just make it scale up or down to make it feel good later. So A. And you're the Y. The 0.5. Oh. Get rid of. There we go. Oh, actually, I just realized that. Oh, and because we're inside, because we're gonna be inside all of these, normals need to be flipped. So a little. I've gotta go. What's up, cat? I'm not sure what our precious. He wants me to just stop the stream and cuddle with her, but I'm not. I'm not quite. More jazz music. we got this tunnel here that's sort of more like a slide. You know, maybe I should look up a tutorial. Probably modular dungeon path.
Welcome to the Blender Dungeon. We're going to go ahead and create this scene, or something pretty close to it, here in Blender. This is something for beginners, and this entire project is designed to show you a lot of the functionality of Blender. So this is in Photoshop here, where I've done a few things. I've added in the character in here, put in a few changes. Foreground, I think it messed a little bit with the mist here and there, but not too much. Here's another one that's almost exactly what comes out of Blender. It's different lighting. Go ahead and start a new file and make yours match mine. The other one is import or whatever. The other thing is to make it turning everything on. It's turning on the...
No, that's not quite what. These bash. What? Oh. Little kitty cat. She wants love. Or something? I'm not sure. A little hard to read. It does look useful, but I'm gonna make my own for all this. Shift A, mesh. Rotate Y. There's that. and the Y. Oh heck, that's not well. A cylinder. And rotate. Oh, wait, not. Y. Nope. A, Y. Yep. Yep, now. Yeah, that's starting to look dungeony. Look at this. Yeah, there's a couple things I need to do. I need to invert all the normals. It's fun that this. Oh, if this room's a cube, then it's gonna have to, and then next that way. This is the advantage of handcrafted dungeons. Like, this room is just gonna have to be interesting. There's no way around it. It's gotta be like, I gotta have to be in there that, like. Yeah, okay, so that's basically the dungeon. I'm gonna call that checked off. Oh wait, was that all the same file? Heck. So, room basically done. Dungeon, I have a deep prototype. So all that's left is that sort of all that's left is sort of a coffee shop and clothing. And putting in the engine. Start with modern clothing. What's gonna be luxury? This is kind of funny. That's just sort of well, I definitely think of how I'd model that. I like this storefront. A little over the top, I like it. Look at the color here. Gosh, I wish I was good at, like, ooh. I wish I was good at art, like 2D art, so I could draw this is incredibly ostentatious. Okay, I need to learn how to make like that. Let's pause that music.
Hi everyone, today I have an unusual tutorial for you. That's because it's a number of tips and warnings I want to give you. As you know, I've been working on my game A Home in Darkness for quite a while, so I've got some experience in making 3D assets for that game. I don't consider myself on the same level as a professional 3D artist, but that's exactly why I want to make this video. There's a lot of stuff you need to consider when making 3D assets and levels in Blender, and it's something people don't find worth mentioning for some reason, although they are important. So let's talk about those. First up, use the metric system of Blender along with the snap tool. That way you'll never.
Okay, so okay, actually, let's first of all so normals. Invert. Alt N. Oh, you have to get. There we go. Now if I go inside, it's looks like the Enterprise actually. File as great. Um, Now open Blender. Open a new Godot. Edit. Boom. Scene. All right. File. Okay. I see. Oop. Sort of. Just what I want. Yeah, because we're never gonna see. We're never gonna see external face. We're only gonna be only see. Yeah. Obviously, you need to cut holes for where the tunnels are going, but for right now, this is like not amazing, but it's passable. And the fact that I actually have sort of intentionally inverted normals means I can actually I could just blender edit mode, delete face, delete face, delete. Face. Okay. And now we can just like sort of look in there, going on. Oh no, what did I do? Wait. No. Okay, delete faces. And so now we can and that. Bring that under. Yeah, and you can just totally see what's going on here. And and because of the inverted normals, totally see, yeah. And then I don't know, like once we actually start playing a game, it'll be a little different. But actually, let's also mesh. All right, I can't. Huh. Well then, that didn't quite work. Okay, collisions don't quite work. But we'll fix that later. That's the basic workflow there. That looks kind of all right. I need the shop. Um, I'll start with the floor plan.
We're
I'm
going
okay
to
with
build
this.
a full game from scratch. This is a culmination of all my experience over the last 5 years. I'm going to streamline this process for you. If you stick with me in this video,
That
you'll be
animation
proud of
is
what
on
I've
that gun
created.
is awful.
Here's our overview. We're going to build a 3D environment and characters in a program called Blender. We will then use GIMP, General Image Manipulation Program, to texture this environment and our models. We will then export this.
That said, following this tutorial, that's content right there. All right, there we go. Where's Spotify? Where's Darling Spot? There we go. And music. This video doesn't have music, so we're gonna add our own Zynga.
Environment plus models to our game engine called Godot. Here we will build and code our game. It will be a slimmed down version of Toxic Zombies. Our enemies will chase us down, and we the player will shoot at them to get points, FPS style. It sounds like a lot, but I promise you this is the fastest way to learn what I have learned in 5 years. I'm condensing all my knowledge down to get you in the game as quick as possible and avoid the frustration that plagued me. Sometimes you don't even really know what questions to ask, so you don't know how to advance forward. I'm going to clear all that up and just get you moving as fast as possible. First, let's talk.
Activate Windows logo.
We need a program to
Activate Windows logo. Woo!
create the game called the game engine. This is pretty standard practice. Dark Souls uses the Havoc engine, Gears of War use the Unreal engine, and Fallout used the Creation engine. So why don't we use something like these? Well, because Unreal is expensive to publish for indie games, and others are proprietary to their companies. They won't just let you use them. So, in terms of free game development right now, Godot is at the top of my list. We can get the download from godotengine.org/download/windows. I'll leave a link in the description so you know where to go. Download the regular release and not the .NET version. The .NET version is for C# users, which we are not. Next, we are going to download Blender. I'll again leave a link in the description.
Blender, yep.
Blender is a 3D modeling software we can use to create 3D objects for our game world and animate them. So we will animate our characters using Blender and create our game world too. Completely free. You can download it from blender.org. I'll leave a link.
So yeah, the reason I'm following this tutorial, not just for content. It is for content. Don't get me wrong. It is for content. Why this pause? Okay. But it's not just for content. Basically, a 3D first person, a 3D first person like game like this is exactly the thing I'm trying to make. And 4 hours is a long video, but okay, so I generally think of, if you have a tutorial that's X minutes long, probably going to take you at least 4x that time to implement it, maybe even up to like 10 or 15x. So, 4 hours times 15, right? That's 60 hours. That's a lot of time. But 60 hours versus like learning on your own. Probably, 200-300 hours. Something like there. Look, this could be worth it. This guy seems to know what he's talking about.
Finally, we need GIMP, which is an image editing program.
Yeah, so I'm not using GIMP. I'm using Affinity, which is not free, but it's the only program I found that I like. Notably, this guy's not choosing any sound effect software, so we're gonna keep an eye on that.
Images wrap around our 3D objects we create in Blender, and they end up in the game world as our textures. We can create cool images to use within GIMP to make our game look interesting. Those are all the downloads we need. They're all completely free, and
A
now
little louder if I'm...
Here's how the process is going to go. We're going to make all of our 3D objects first in Blender. We'll get the textures straight in GIMP, and then after all that is done, we'll export everything to Godot and get our game coded. Alright.
Wait, actually. You guys got good taste in games. Pathologic 2 and Baldur's Gate 3. Thumbs up for me. I've not played Pathologic, but Baldur's Gate 3 is a really solid game.
Export everything to Godot and get our game coded. Alright, so you might be opening Blender for the first time, but that's okay, because I'm going to teach you how to use Blender step by step by introducing you to individual elements that build into each other. First, we are
Okay, so I basically know how to use Blender, but I'm very much at the like amateur level, right? So if you know zero about Blender, I can teach you to get to sort of the like bare minimum, right? But if you look at people who use it all the time, I'm not at like a high amateur. I'm definitely not at a professional level. I'm sort of a little higher than the bare minimum. I know some stuff. I don't know everything. I don't even know everything about the specific tools I use the most. So this guy's probably got something I don't know. This might be a little repetitive because I already do know a lot of stuff, but we're just gonna work with it. Let it roll.
going to open up Blender. You'll probably get some setup dialog to select the language and stuff. After that, you can go to the default scene option, which gives us a new basic scene. So this is what Blender normally looks like with a default scene. A cube in the middle, a light to the left, and a camera to the right. If you're
So I know that.
new to Blender, you might find it hard to understand what you are looking at. For now, do not worry about the panels to the right side of the screen. We will address them later. We want to focus on the main part of the screen with cube. The fundamental controls of Blender are this.
Cube.
Mouse scroll to zoom in and out. Middle mouse click to rotate around the center of the screen. Shift plus middle mouse click to drag the screen to that direction. Clicking on the gizmo at the top right of the screen will flip your view to that orientation. These are the simplest ways to move your view in Blender. If you want to see all the keyboard shortcuts for Blender, you can view them here. There's a link in the description. However, we will learn more shortly. Selecting an object. To select an object, we need to click on it or drag a selection box over it. You can select multiple objects at once by holding Shift, but for now, just select the cube. When the cube has an orange outline, it is ready to manipulate. Pressing G will allow you to move the cube freely.
Grab.
Pressing Escape will cancel that movement. If you press G and then press X, Y, or Z, then you will move only on that axis. If you press G, then hold Shift, and press the X, Y, or Z keys, you will lock that axis, and the cube will only move in the other two. So if you only want to move the cube left or right, or forward, or...
Oh, that's something. That's already something I didn't know. So, okay. Shift X. X. Oh, no. Grab. There we go. On G. So I can move up. Move up, and I can move side to side, but I can't. That is actually useful. Okay.
Back and not change its height. You should select the cube, press G, and then Shift Z so that the cube will not change in elevation but will move along the ground. The S key operates the same way as the G key. We can use it the same way, but it will scale instead of move. Rotation can be achieved by doing the same thing with the R key. We can rotate on any axis or by locking the axis, like we have done previously with the other settings. So, we can now move, rotate, and scale the cube any way we want. Let's do all three in a random fashion so the cube is in a different spot from where it was. Any which way, as long as it's different from where it was. Now you will notice if you press the S, the G, or the R key, and then select the axis using Z, X, or Y, you can tap the axis again to move along the local axis of the cube as opposed to the X-axis of the world.
Okay, wait. How do I?
Where it was. Now you will notice if you press the S, the G, or the R key, and then select the axis using Z, X, or Y, you can tap the axis again.
Okay, so file new. So yes, let's just rotate and X. Okay, and then we can move it again. Local. That's so useful. That's so useful. Just retitle the stream. There we go.
To move along the local axis of the cube as opposed to the x-axis of the world.
So why this is useful is basically what I've been doing is I have a problem, right? So I have something I want to do. And what I do is I think, what tools do I need? Right? And then I go to my search engine. I say, hi, please. And it says, okay, here's the tool you use. And then I repeat that until either have right. So that's for basically my cycle. But the issue with this is there's the unknown unknowns, right? Which is basically if I okay, so we're at this step, right? I know what so I'm limited here by what I think exists, right? So if I think something exists, it's probably in Blender. Blender is a very large program, so it probably has everything. But if I don't think it exists, or don't think we will look for it, then I'll never find it, right? So what this guy is doing is he's saying, okay, so here's the basics, but here's also the stuff on top of that basics. There's the sort of the medium, right? Because you can do everything. You can sort of brute force most things, but with the medium you can sort of do it better. So yeah, and then the advanced is just like you're just flying across the keyboard making Blender models in 30 seconds because people can do that. Blender, like there's no speed cap on Blender. If you got fast enough hardware and you know what you're doing, you can make things incredibly quickly in Blender.
This works for scaling movement and rotation as well. It can be useful to get things into position, so you want to keep that in mind. I only point this out because it confused me at first. I didn't understand what was happening. So, if we don't like our cube's location, rotation, or scale anymore, we can return them back to normal by pressing Alt-G for location, Alt-R for rotation, and Alt-S for scale.
Oh shit,
This will
Alt.
return the object back.
Oh, I should be taking notes here. Guy, this, yeah. Okay, so Alt ER undo. Turn. That's super. Or if you guys can't read my handwriting.
To its applied location.
I just realized, like, I'm streaming, right? One of the reasons I want number go up, right? But right now I am learning so much. I've got my learning hat on. You know the thing. This got a little hat there. It's got a little ribbon. Wear it to college when you get your. Whatever. I've got my learning hat on. I'm. What? Let's make our own learning hat. It's top hat. That's like a book. Go. You wear it like this. I can. Trim. Okay, this is irrelevant. Hat of the learned.
Rotation.
Oh, this guy deserves a subscription,
On the
by the way. Godot Enjoyer, let's go. This is content right. Comrade activate Windows logo.
flip side, if we did like these placements, how could we keep them? Well, we need to apply that specific property. We do this by pressing Ctrl A while having the cube selected. This will bring up a menu where we can decide what we want to apply. Once applied, the cube will return to that spot when Alt-G is pressed. The same goes for applied rotation or scaling. It will become the object's default when applied.
Okay, so answer the next question I had, which is why?
To give you an overview, this is how Blender works. You create objects like the cube you see in the middle. Then you can edit those objects in different ways to create new shapes. Simple shapes like cubes or advanced shapes like dragons. We refer to these shapes as meshes. A mesh is made up of faces, and the faces are made up of points.
Oh yeah, the reason it's called a mesh is because if you think of a net, right, it's got a bunch of knots, like that. Or these, and you get just like times, 1,000 or whatever, right? That's sort of what that is. And then you can imagine that rather than sort of flowing loosely like a rope does, these meshes are locked in place relative to each other. And then you have, whatever you want. You can make anything out of this.
Points called vertices. In the simplest terms, the computer knows which way the vertices are facing and where they are. So it connects them and creates faces that make up the whole of the mesh. The more vertices the mesh has, the longer the computer is going to need to process it. Hundreds of thousands of vertices can be used in a game, but generally it is best to use the fewest amount possible to achieve the look you want.
Oh yeah, the toothbrush. Bum, bum, bum. This song is actually. In fact, I'm gonna skip that.
For your game. Having less stuff to display cuts down on the work your computer has to do to output all those graphics. Lighting and viewport shading. So we understand the cube mesh a little better, but now let's take a look at the other objects. First, let's examine the light to the right of the cube. You will notice that there really isn't any light coming from it. This isn't because the light isn't working, it is because the display mode we are in. To see the light, we need to press and hold the Z key and move our mouse to select the different viewing modes. We are currently in the solid view and we want to switch to the top one, the rendered view. So, move your mouse up and release the Z key to select that view. After releasing, try selecting the light again and moving it around with the G key. The cube should project shadows now and the light should be visible. We can switch freely between the views by pressing the Z hold or by using the buttons at the top right of the screen. Often, when manipulating or editing models, it is common to switch viewport shading frequently to get a more cohesive view of the scene. Continuing with the light, switch to the render viewport shading, Z hold and mouse up, select the light and look to the right to see the panel, and that holds all the object's properties. With the light selected, click the green icon on those panels that looks like a light bulb. If you hover over it, it says Data Object, Data Properties. Click on this to be able to adjust the light's properties.
I've never adjusted light properties before. Let's go into my Blender. Oop. Oop. And we can make that go. Rendered. Sec. That is kind of a cool look. Oh, you can hold the middle mouse button down to choose an axis. That's kind of cool. Okay. Make the power 10 times. How do I turn off soft off? Nothing. Yes. Go. Okay. That's kind of cool. I'm running out of. I've got a little more music. I need a new playlist, I think. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Anyway, back to the video.
Properties. The main properties to play with here are the power, which makes it brighter, the color, which changes its color, and the type of light selected by the icon. You can choose the light and play around with the different options. I will keep mine on point for now and leave the settings about the same. It is not super important for our purposes. Let's talk about the object property panel a little more. On the set of icons where we selected the green light bulb icon, there is more to see and understand. These are added options for whatever selected object we have. Click on the orange square inside of the box. Covered, it says Object, Object Properties. Click on the orange box to the panel, and the panel to the right will change so that you can see the transform of the selected object. The transform is the position, rotation, and scaling of that object. You can change the values here to manipulate the object the same way we did earlier using the G, S, and R keys. The panel is good to understand, but we will not have to adjust anything here for now. The icons above the orange box on the same strip are not properties of the selected object. Instead, they are properties of Blender or the entire screen or the world. We will go into depth on them later and when we need to use them. Editing the cube. We are now going to edit the cube, so we start by selecting the cube. Then we press the tab button once. This will enter us into edit mode. We can press the tab button again to return to object mode.
Yep. I think he's probably going to explain this, but one thing I want to touch on is the 1 2, and 3 keys, which give you vert, point, edge, the line, and face, which is a plane. And so you can imagine a cube as made of 8 verts. As 8 verts, right? And then edges, what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12? How many edges does the cube have? I'm not sure. Just go with my blender and statistics, there we go. Yeah, so 12 edges. So yeah, 12 edges. And that is 8 faces, right? Or 6 faces, right? Because yeah, 6 faces. And so it can be all three of these are useful to manipulate. So like 1, 2, and 3, I use that all the time. I use it continuously because sometimes I want to select a point. Oh, here, I'll show you. So in edit mode. So sometimes I want a point, so I choose 1, right? And I can move this wherever I want it. That's pretty useful. 2, selects an edge. So one thing I often do is subdivide, and we can go back into point mode. Right? That lets you, yep. And then face. I can take this face. I can press E to extrude. Bam. Incredibly ugly. And I think there's some topology crimes going on here. I've definitely got n-gons. But right. So I can't. I can't use the face mode to, like, each of these modes do stuff the other ones can't. So moving a vertice, or you can even move more than one vertice, right? You can move this one and this one. And, you know, that's horrifying, obviously. But you can do it. There's good reasons to. You want to move, like, 2 faces. That's actually kind of cool. I like this shape. I actually have that shape. And then faces. Yep. Again. And you can sort of do that. They're all these 1, 2, and 3. The vert, edge, and face things are all very useful. This cube is destroyed. Let's bring that back to regular. Yep.
We can also change the modes by selecting them from a drop-down at the top left. The modes you can change will differ depending on the object you have chosen. A light will have no edit mode, but a mesh should always have an edit mode, for instance. In edit mode, we can manipulate the mesh that makes up the shape of our object. If we look at the top left, we will see some icons that represent the vertices, the edges, and the faces of our mesh.
Yep, this is
Select
it.
the edges, the middle option, and you will see we can manipulate the edges of the cube. You can select a single edge by clicking on it individually and holding shift to select multiple edges. With the edges selected, we can use our trusty G, S, and R keys to move, rotate, or scale just like we did in object mode. If we return to our top left menu and select the face icon, the rightmost one that looks like a square, we will be able to select the faces of the cube. The same rotation, scaling, and location methods are available to us here by using our G, S, and R keys again. We will examine the last option on the menu to the top left, the vertex selection. Here we can move the verts that make up the edges, giving us very fine control of the shape, again using the G, S, and R key.
Another thing you can do with verts, and I haven't had a ton of success with this, but what you can do is you can essentially trace stuff. So you can, so let's say you have this shape, right? You can just like vert, and then like connect them and get a rough approximation of that shape. every time I've tried to do this, I've run into issues, but it's something you can do, and it's pretty useful. Gosh, I keep getting confused of his Blender versus my Blender.
Still in edit mode, we can look to our left and view the tools available to us while editing our mesh. T will hide and show our editing toolbar. From the top down, I will be explaining the tools. The select box, this will allow us to choose our method of selection. We default to box selection, but we can change.
Oh, that's you fixed that. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Use this later on. The cursor is basically where your viewport is looking at regularly. Don't mess with this for now, just leave it where it is. The next 4 options are just the moving, scaling, and rotation buttons that we used earlier with the G, S, and R keys. It's just another way to access them. Further down we have annotations, which just allow you to annotate the creation you have made. I have never used this feature. The measure tool is below that, and it does exactly what it says. It measures stuff. I really don't use it much, but it can be helpful. Add cube. This will allow you to add another cube to the mesh, and that cube can be manipulated after creation as well.
Oh,
Extrude region.
cool.
This one is very useful. You can use it to continue a shape or extrude it. It adds more geometry to our mesh. We can extrude a single vert, an edge, or a face. Inset region. This will create more geometry on the mesh.
Okay, so these tools on the side, I have never clicked these buttons, or almost never. Whatever. Like I don't. Like these tools are very useful for beginners, and I understand why they're there. But for me, E to extrude, I to inset, right? Control R for loop cut. Control if you want more. And then this new face, we can E to extrude that. A funky little creature, funky little shape, and then yeah, you can also extrude, rotate, etc.
By creating a shape inside from the outer edges. Bevel. Bevel will bevel the edges or round them depending on the size
And that's
of the
just
bevel.
right. Is it your Control P? I can't remember. Nope.
Loop cut. Loop cut will create a loop all the way around the mesh. Can be very useful for modeling. The knife tool is the last one we will talk about, and that allows you to cut vertices into a shape. It's very situational, but pretty useful. The other tools are not really going to be used.
Yep. Knife tool. Sometimes it's very helpful. Sometimes it is counterproductive. Very useful to have in the toolbox though.
In this tutorial, and they're more advanced, so we're not trying to master Blender here, we're just trying to learn enough to make games. The first thing we're going to be making is a torch to light up our scene in the game.
Okay, so first of all, the mesh looks fine, but I don't like the way this is textured. It's this weird, like high, the resolution is too high for the quality of the texture. If that makes sense. And it's got a weird shininess to it. So if we look at, Hi, I'm still streaming. I am still streaming. Actually, Maeve, come over here. Yeah.
Understuff.
My lovely girlfriend, everybody.
Hello?
So I found a 4-hour video on how to make games in Blender. And usually I would ignore it, but this guy knows what the hell he's talking about. So
Send it to me. I might.
I'll do you one better. Sit down. Yeah.
Am I a guest star now?
Sure, why not? Here, at least Catgirl headphones reach. Now we'll trade.
Trade headphones.
Yep.
I
And
can
this
trade.
video doesn't have music, so I'm providing my own, and it's copyright free, so don't have to worry about.
Neat.
Oh, one sec.
One sec. Technical difficulties, everybody.
Every stream. So. Okay.
There's the music again.
This cable is incredibly short.
It is, yes.
Oh gosh. Okay. Did I unplug you as well this time? Yes, I. Okay, I'm gonna put this back in. Comes off. Put them on the desk, just so I can escape without killing anything.
Should we trade seats?
No.
Going. Retro headphones have such an aesthetic, though.
I know, but they weigh like 5 pounds, and that's a lot. Like, that's a lot for headphones.
It is a lot for headphones.
Anyway, so. And like, I've used these with this computer before and had 0 issues. So this should. Hear the BG. And. Okay, so the cord is still shorter than that cord, but. Okay, now scoot yourself in. Okay, actually, let me mess with this a little bit. Okay, now I want to scoot. Okay, so I'm just gonna move the camera over this way.
Yeah.
There we go. No, you scooch in.
Nice. Touches the silly high chair a little bit. That's gonna come back and be like, what?
And then we're gonna move this. Oh, there we go. Let me. Sir, that's close enough. Okay. Anyway, so what I was doing is I was talking about how this. I don't like the way this texture looks. So obviously I'm following this tutorial. So this guy's opinions are the reason I'm here. I don't like the style of this texture. And so when you came in, I was looking up a model of a flashlight. Just like a picture of a flashlight.
Very simple.
Yeah, so here you can see if I was gonna texture this, I would probably just like get rid of all of this. So you just like have a flat material for the yellow bit. Like, you don't actually need a texture here, right? And for this one, you do need a texture for this grippy bit. But everything else can be modeled.
In a video.
For this, yeah.
Okay.
For this, I would definitely, like, if I want to make sure that this, right, because it's sort of a tactical. Also, maybe you need to, yeah. Right, this is sort of a tactical. First of all, I have to texture this anyway, so it's kind of free. Like, it's not really a performance thing. Where you can see this texture, right? And this guy is sort of sacrificing visual clarity for just like, just a little busy. I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah.
That said,
That's the thing, I guess.
I probably couldn't make this the way that he's making it. That's why we're here to learn. And then, well, you're the artist here, but I'm not gonna let you draw because I'm drawing. I want to learn,
Your stream.
It's my stream, yeah.
Again, we just want to go ahead and switch back to object mode. After that, we will select the cube and press X to delete it. We are then going to create whatever shape we want. At the top left, near the mode selection, there is an add button. When clicked, we move to the mesh option and follow the drop.
Oh my god, clicking things rather than pressing buttons in Blender.
This is what I do.
Couldn't be me.
This is how I do it.
No, you just AX verts 7. That way, no, I want that's top. Okay. Shift A. Cube.
Well, I mean, this is also like, so he it.
I know.
So that the.
I know that. I'm aware. Wait, actually, may I say something?
Something.
Okay, we need to switch to. Okay, I need to switch this to +4 rather than +2.
Because I'm farther away from the mic.
Yep. Heck. Inside your properties. 4. There we go. So I should probably lower the noise gate. I'm just gonna get rid of the noise gate for now.
Oh, okay.
I had it because your sister was making noises in the other room and someone thought like a dog was dying.
She does do that.
And so I was like, I'm just gonna put a noise gate on so I don't have to worry about it. But in this case, I think we don't want one.
Mesh. Now that we have our plain mesh, we want to edit it. So let's switch to edit mode. Let's use the menu on the top.
I know why. I know why he's doing it. But every time he clicks something in the UI rather than just pressing the button, you gotta look at okay. Look at all these keys. Look how many keys there are here, right? You can press some of them, and they do things in Blender, and it's very convenient because in Blender, everything comes to your mouse, right? So if you press Shift A, bazinga, comes to your mouse. You don't have to go up here and no, fuck that.
Well, now I know how to do that.
Selection. Now select the top face of the plane and press E to extrude the plane's face up
Oh.
distance.
Wait, did you not know how to do that?
Torch.
I mean, I knew in theory.
Oh my god! Wow, that's why you're here.
Left side of the toolbar. This is just much.
I was thinking of doing a Blender
Notice when you press
stream
E,
myself,
you're
like
automatically
maybe
aligned
tomorrow.
to the local Z-axis of the mesh.
Oh, so the headphones I'm wearing are quieter than the ones you're wearing, so I'm gonna bump
What?
I'm gonna bump the volume up a little bit because the headphones I'm wearing are a little quieter.
Oh, alright.
Freely press
Also, because splitting in audio makes it a little bit quieter.
axis, allowing it to move everywhere. However, this locking is what we want, so there's no need to worry about it for now. Let's extrude again, and we should have a taller cube shape. After clicking to finalize the second extrude with the same face selected, press the S key to scale the top face inward, creating a nice slant shape. We will repeat this process to create the elongated skinny section, leading to the torch tip. We can flare it out at the top to make the holder for the embers. To create the cup shape at the top, we can select the top face
Oh,
of
I
the
see.
torch,
He's not making a
press
flashlight,
up
he's
to
making a
the inside.
torch.
I know, yeah,
Mouse to
but
choose where the inside space
that's what the British call them.
squares and press the E key to extrude the square downward.
Brits call flashlights torches.
I know that.
You gave me a look.
I know. It was a
Okay, whatever.
I'm considering kissing you look.
Okay.
Is the same as using the inset option on the toolbar. Our torch modeling is now complete. However, we want to add a material and a texture to the torch to make it look cool.
Oh, I see. Okay, wait.
Face of the
So, see all the he's doing a bunch of unnecessary extrusion, right? Because
Sure.
well, here, let me show you. So, right, E to extrude. Oh, come on, I need to be in the right. Easy, right? Oh, come on.
I mean, you'd probably want to hold shift. Is that how you keep things?
No, just
Oh, this is fun. You're in isometric perspective. Or is that what it's called?
it depends on the context. Boom, right? And so, like, this could all just be one. You don't need all these extra verts, unless.
You're texturing.
Yeah, so if I go into wireframe mode, boop, grab all these. Where's material? No, I want material. Let's add a new one. Let's call this new. Let's just make that green, right? Assign. Now if we go to material preview, bam.
Neat.
But like you don't actually need these verts for
Anything else?
right. And also using materials like this is very convenient. But you could also just
UV unwrap and
yeah, which I think is you. There we go. UV editing. I don't know how the fuck to
Wait,
do any
you
of this.
didn't- Hold on, Rose.
Yeah.
You didn't choose the seams on which to unwrap it. Did it just auto choose?
Yeah. Well, this is a smart unwrap, so it's not perfect, but it does not catch up.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't know how to edit it. UV texture paint. There we go. I don't know how to make this happen. I tried. I couldn't get it to work. Actually, this is better than I did before. Wait, how about this? Here we go. Huh.
Wait, try using your tablet.
I don't know why that would change anything.
Hmm.
Anyway, in theory, that's how that would work. However, there is actually... Okay, how do I... Okay, let's just go back to modeling. All right. There's actually an advantage to doing it... what was I doing? Control for yeah. Oh, wait, no, I want wireframe. There is actually an advantage to doing it this way. Okay. Which is... Oh, come on. Sign. There we go. Which is that you get these... Basically, the resolution on the transition is infinite.
Mm.
So, like, no matter how far I zoom in, there's never going to be a pixelated border here.
Mm.
Whereas with a texture that did the same thing, there would like there is a border because it's all pixels.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a vector.
Yeah.
So this is one of those annoying things about optimization. It's like there's two different correct ways to do it, and it's like what look are you going for?
Polygons, one makes more accurate.
And it's but also like a material is usually I think much cheaper VRAM usage wise than a texture, because the texture is just an image, and so like the fewer images you load, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Oh, that's the kid.
That's the kid.
On the inside squares, press the E key to extrude the square downward, creating a large cup. Using the I for inset here is the same as using the inset option on the toolbar. Our torch model is now complete. However, we want to add a material.
Alright, I'm gonna go greet her.
Okay. And tell her we're streaming, so don't make any weird noises that'll scare my viewers.
Hey, kid!
Not that do I even have viewers right now? Nope. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, she entered the house and then left it.
I think she forgot something.
Mm.
So in Blender, we have materials which are found on the tab that looks like a beach ball in the object properties panel.
It looks like a beach ball. That's kind of funny. Scooch in this way.
does.
Material tab to use materials in use
I want to see your whole face.
object. Currently, there are no materials on the mesh, so we need to create one. Press the New button on the material panel. A new material will be created, and you can double-click the material to rename it. I will name this
Okay,
material
double click.
content.
Again, this guy's using... You know what else you can do? You can press F2.
Is that...
Why didn't that work?
Is he renaming the flashlight, though? The torch, though, or the material?
Huh, why did that... Wait, why did this not... Okay, if I press F2...
No,
Oh.
because that renames the object, not the material.
No, he's renaming the material. Okay. Wait, actually, okay, so that's this. And then I can... Okay, so I can just, like... Okay, whatever.
When we scroll down the materials panel, we can see the attributes that make up the material. Let's change the base color by clicking on the color selector next to the base color attribute. If you are changing the color and the object is not changing colors, you may be in the solid shading preview. Use the Z button to switch to the material preview view like we did before. You should see the color change now. We want to have two different materials on this torch, so let's click the small plus.
Do you know how to make it so that these words that say what you're doing show up?
Yes. In theory. I tried it once and I couldn't get it to work.
Hmm.
But it's like I think it's just like a Blender plugin. File. Splash screens. Edit.
Because if I'm doing a Blender stream tomorrow, then I probably want to do that.
I don't know how to do it off the top of my head. Extend add-ons. There we go. Okay, there's a way to do it. I'm not gonna find it right now.
Alright.
The material created is important to assign it, otherwise it won't actually appear on our model. To do this, we want to go to Edit Mode and choose the Face Selection option. We will then select the faces we want to apply or assign the material to.
No.
Select multiple
No, just go into wireframe mode, dude.
vertically, click towards the uppermost or lowermost section.
No, I do
Wait,
this too.
Select
Wait.
the faces vertically, click towards multiple faces in a loop. The
Okay.
faces we will edit mode and choose the face selection option. We will then select the faces we want to apply or assign the material to. We can select multiple faces in a loop by using the Alt key. Select the faces vertically, click towards the uppermost or lowermost section of the face while holding
Oh wait, that is actually something I needed to learn. So I was trying to do that the other day. So, Alt.
Ooh.
So that's so useful. That's so useful. I spent like an hour one time trying to figure out how to do that, and it just like didn't. This guy showed me in 30. This video is 4 hours long, and it's okay. So my favorite thing about Blender is not the fact that it's one of the most efficient programs ever made in terms of like put time into, results out. It's the community. Blender guys just make the best tutorials. It's just like the tool itself is really good, but then on top of that, it's just like, here's a 1-minute video that will teach you something in Blender that any other program would take 2 hours to learn. It's just like, oh yeah, if you hold Alt and you do it this way, you get that. If you do it this way, you get that. You can even press Shift and Alt and then do both.
Oh shit, that's cool.
So if I want to, right, and then, wait a minute, no, I don't have that selected. I was holding caps lock. Shift. Okay, so Alt, bam, Shift, bam. Wait, no, heck, Alt, Shift. There we go. And now if I Alt E, no, heck, no, undo that. Okay, Alt E, straight along normals.
Why are you doing this?
It's an example, Maeve.
It is an example, but I feel like you're torturing it.
Okay. But Maeve, consider. Actually, also I can press Alt here, and scale this down a little bit.
This is like if a flashlight were a tesseract.
And then
With a snatched waist.
Shift, subdivide.
Ooh.
R, nope. R, I want to rotate them toward the, wait, no, that's, wait, how do I rotate toward normal? Alt R, maybe? Nope. Oh, that's S. Heck. Nope. I wanted to rotate them toward the center here, but whatever. You can see how this sort of looks. It looks vaguely cyberpunk. It could be like a.
I suppose that's very agreeable.
Okay, it's a little. The proportions are a little cartoony. So if I wireframe, take that all.
Cartoon cyberpunk.
Take all these and then S them down a little bit, and then maybe S. Yep. Material preview. And then Alt E, extrude along normals, bring those.
Hee 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 hee. my god.
And there's, you can imagine, okay, so this topology is at this point cursed. Because that's not supposed to be like that. Okay, whatever.
Alright, I love you. I'm going off to do other things.
Okay.
Send me this, though.
Okay, I'll send it to you. I don't want to like bring up my Discord on stream though, so.
No, that's
Remind
fair.
me.
Do it later.
Yep. I don't know.
Thank
It
you for
just
letting me guest. Thank you, all of you.
I have
of
0
my
viewers right
girlfriend's
now.
lovely audience, future, present, past, and otherwise, for having me here. We will see you next time.
That's true. We will. All right. Now let's see. I want to crop this, or actually, I can just move it over here. Make that a little bigger. Scooch over this way. Anyway.
Select horizontally looping faces. Select click to the left or the rightmost section of the face while holding Alt. When you have the face you want selected, return your cursor to the Material tab, make sure you have the correct material selected, and click the Assign button. The new material should now be assigned to the selected faces. Now we have materials, and we need to give those materials textures. A texture is just an image. This image will wrap around the shape and give the object its intended look in the game world.
Wait.
Will wrap around the shape and give the object its intended.
This is so funny. The image she's used here is like a papercraft. So what this is, you take a piece of paper, you draw little things on it, and then you take some scissors. And it turns into a Minecraft creeper by cutting and folding in a very precise way. And like that's a really good example of what a 3D model is, but it's kind of funny to use that specifically rather than like a thing that's actually going to be a 3D model.
Game world. If you want free textures, you can go to Texture Haven or OpenGameArt.org. We will be creating textures for this game in GIMP because it is good practice. Let's put Blender on hold and jump into GIMP. When we first open up GIMP, we can see we have an empty screen with a mascot peeking from the bottom. We need to navigate to the File option at the top left of the screen, select New, and then create a new image dialog will pop up, and we will set the parameters of the new image we are creating. Let's do a square texture that is 500 by 500 pixels. Before you click OK, click the Advanced Option Plus button and navigate to the Fill With dropdown. From the dropdown, select the foreground color option. Now before accepting, choose the foreground color near the top right. Darker colors work better for what we are attempting.
Okay, so so we need a new file, new 500 by 500 is fine. Pixels per inch, whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna match that 300 dpi.
I will use black. Once the
And great. Now we're just gonna take our paint bucket tool. Bam.
color is selected, click OK in the dialog and create the new image. Now that we have a blank canvas, we will grab the paintbrush tool, choose a color, and paint a bit. I like
Okay, so paintbrush tool. Okay, so actually, I haven't really experimented with other brushes. How do I even choose a different brush? I'm not sure. Because I've just been using the same brush this whole time. Gosh. Let's just see if I can find a free brush pack for Affinity. Okay, that should work. Oh, come on, subscribe to download it. Boo. This better actually be free, you know, no sign up bullshit. Mailing list. Nah. Check not essential. Don't want to put my email address on stream. Okay. Huh, that looks actually pretty useful. What does this one do? Whatever, I'll browse these later. Oh, these all look good. Whatever. I'm just gonna, whatever brush he uses, I'm just gonna recreate it. Okay, so more texture. Okay. Free. Textures, free brushes, spray 14. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Why is everyone complaining? Stipple, brush, hand-drawn versions, splatter brushes. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Free brush dab image. That's a brush stroke. I want a brush dab. Free pick. Brush pack. Ink, blood, block. That's kind of funny. Ink. Let's see. Not quite. Foliage. Okay, let's just see what he does and try and find a brush that matches it.
I have to worry about
Nope.
I will use contrasting colors, select one of the cloudy paint stamps, and I will place a few in random areas around the square. I like to choose three different
This is
brushes,
very haphazard.
rotate them a little
Is this a
bit
placeholder?
for added effect. I will repeat this with a different color, probably a lighter one to add a little more contrast.
Okay, what's this actually supposed to depict?
The colorize option from the color menu at the top. This will allow me to recolor everything to a more muted concrete tone. I then like to play around with the exposure until I get something I like, normally upping the black level and the exposure. After this, we need to go to the filters drop down, hover over the maps option, and select the tile seamless option. We now have a seamless tileable texture. We will now export this to a folder for use in Blender. It is important to note that saving a project in GIMP does not export the image that we need. When you save the GIMP file...
Do I just need to get GIMP? Is this the thing I'm learning here? Horror themed cooking game.
you to open that file in GIMP again. To get our PNG, we need to export.
Oh, come on. No, I don't want this one. Nope. Thank you. Nope. Over here, this one. Okay, I'm gonna leave you guys for just one sec. Ba-da-bum. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Okay. So, actually, okay. So, continuing with my trend of slightly disagreeing with this tutorial, that doesn't actually look like concrete. So let's find some concrete. That's what we're going for. Wait, why are we making concrete? I can't even find any, like, actual examples. These are all people building them for video games. Oh, I wish I knew how to model this well. Okay, so if we look at this, there's sort of two textures going on. And I think we can like overlay them or something. There's this like brown, orange, white thing, and there's like speckles. So we can look at that. Okay, I'm gonna open that in a new tab. That's kind of cool. That's not what I'm looking for though. Stone. This is not what we want, but like it's a stone texture. So I do want to make my own texture here. Let's just look like obviously this is a model, but concrete. Like, what's this guy's model? Like, what's he modeling this off of? Because concrete torches, that's a different thing. Like, this is obviously modern. Like, made in the last 100 years. I mean, like, the Romans had concrete, so that would have been possible to make, but yeah, like I just don't think this looks very good. It's very busy, and it's also like not depicting particularly accurately what it's trying to depict. Yeah, let's see. I'm just gonna make my brush really large and not very opaque, and then add a new layer of. Let's make this sort of like one of those. There we go. And then add a new layer of and make that the opacity of this one like there we go. And then we can add a layer here. Make this like that. There we go. Okay, actually I don't like the brush, so how brushy that looks. Hardness, let's make that like really soft. And then make that bigger. Okay, we got that sort of random thing. And then let's see how do I Infinity tile. Tile image. There we go. Okay. Rasterize. What? Okay, paint. Okay. We're gonna use this for now because I have it. But I think I might just need to learn and use. I might just need to get GIMP. I'll be honest. This is really powerful. And you know, open source software, good. We like it. I've had frustrating experiences with GIMP in the past, but maybe it's good. I'm not gonna do that this stream though.
Picture. Saving is still recommended, however. To export a picture, select the File option at the top left of the screen, then click the Export As option. Change the name of the image to the file type you want. I want to use PNGs. Let's choose that. click on the export, which gives us our texture that we need. Before we leave GIMP, let's create a normal map texture that will help Blender add more definition to our 3D object. With the GIMP project still open, select the filters option.
Can I do that in filters? Noise. Oh, I can just add noise. Gaussian, uniform. I wish it was like, I wish it was larger. Can I? Okay. Sure, whatever. Apply. Distort, frequency separation. Filters, haze removal, lighting. Cool. How do I do normal maps in Affinity? This is really complicated. Okay. Yeah, I just have to learn GIMP. Okay. Let's see. Boom, bum, 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 bum. Okay. Whatever. Let's just send it. I don't have a normal map right now. It's fine.
At the top again, hover over the generic option and select normal map, which will turn our image blue.
Wait, filters, generic or normal? Okay, what's filters? Chromatic aberration. That won't do anything because it's a monochromatic image, won't it? Right. Filters. Divide by alpha. Halftone. Filters. Shadows, highlights. Cancel. Plugins. Frequency separation. Okay. Dang it. I can't get an normal map trivially. Okay.
It looks like red veins running through it. This is our normal map, and it will help us create more definition on our 3D object. We will export this image and jump back into Blender. The shader.
Does it come with? Okay, whatever. Let's just find an image with a normal map. Okay, and just drag and drop. Okay. Okay. File, export, Kong. There we go. Assets for YouTube, Ultimate 3D thing, concrete-ish. Okay, bam. Normal. Ooh, that actually looks pretty good. Ah, yeah, that's... It doesn't look amazing. But that noise filter really... Oh. Wait, I got... What? Can I... Displacement? Okay. Environment. Okay, it's too shiny, whatever. That's fine. Download. Crap. That was fast. Okay. Cool. So that should be, let's just Control X that, put it into assets for YouTube, Ultimate 3D thing. Bam. Cool. So that's that problem solved.
Your editor tab and adding our images. Now that we have our texture, it's time to place those textures on the materials inside of Blender. Let's choose our concrete material first. We need to
Blender. Okay. Shift, there we go.
switch to the shader editor tab. We do this by clicking
Shader. Okay. There we go.
on the tab at the top of the screen. We won't use all of these tabs, but we will view more later. The importance of the shader editor tab is to easily adjust your materials. In Blender, materials can use a node-based system that we see on the bottom half of the screen. If you haven't done so yet, you can try clicking on the outer edges of panels to drag them bigger or smaller. Nodes sound complicated, but they are just attributes we attach to our material. What we are seeing...
Okay, I'm gonna turn Spotify down a little bit. Okay, thankfully we've got plenty of music left. Blender, okay, there we go.
Same properties that we have on our material panel to the right, but with nodes. In this view, we also have added functionality for the material, like adding...
Wait, let me see if I can... Okay, I've got Blender. How do I add input color texture? Oh, okay, that does something. Okay, so add texture input attribute color attribute. So if I can, oh, okay, so I can control that. Okay, yeah.
image nodes. That is what we are going to do now. Let's click the Add button at the top of the node panel. This will result in a drop-down menu where we select the texture submenu and then the image texture option.
Okay, so, oh, okay, so it's just sitting in there, got it. So add texture image texture. Okay, cancel, open. Ultima 3D thing. And then, okay.
This will create for us an image texture node with which we can load our image we created earlier in the game. Click the open button on the image texture node and select the
I love all these random images.
texture you want to place on that material.
Okay.
Your image will most likely look stretched and warped on the shape.
Well, let's see if it does. Yep.
Don't worry, we are about to fix this. UV editing, and what are UVs? There is nothing wrong with our texture. Instead, it is the UV map of the object that has problems. If you don't know what a UV map is, don't worry, we're going to learn now. Let's change our tab again to the UV editing at the very top. We can see our image to the left and our object to the right. Our object might be in solid shading, so let's hover over the side of our screen and use the Z key and select the material preview shading. Okay, now we can explain what is going on here.
Oh wait, I missed some stuff. Okay, well, I'll let him finish and come back.
Of your texture onto the 3D object. Here are a few examples.
Oh, fun fact. Do you know why it's called a UV? Oh gosh. You know why it's called a UV? Because they ran out of letters. So there's X, there's Y, they're using W for something. So UV. That's why it's called a UV. It doesn't stand for anything. It's just they ran out of letters. Okay. I wish that was me.
I found online to illustrate the principle. We are taking the texture that is a 2D image and telling Blender how to lay the image on top of the 3D mesh. This is called a UV map. So why is our UV map all messed up? Because our scaling is non-uniform on the object. We scaled certain faces of our mesh when we were creating it, and it means the UVs are confused on how they should lay. We can see this if we click on the top faces of the torch. The flat shape of the UV to our left resembles the face on our model to our right. If we now click down on the square section where we scaled and extruded, you can see the UVs do not resemble the shape at all. All these issues have a simple fix. Simply return to object mode.
Shift A apply. Or Control A apply.
Control A to access the apply menu. Now we can apply all the transforms, which will fix our scaling issues. So our model is not fixed just yet. Our scaling is now corrected, and we need to tell Blender to remap the UVs on the object. This is called unwrapping the object. Let's prepare to unwrap our object now.
Okay, so UV editing, UV unwrap, smart project. Material preview. Doesn't look terrible. More shading. Great, okay. I missed a step, but I'm sure.
Editing mode.
Wait, no, I need to go back on this video.
Fix this. UV editing, and what are UVs? There is nothing wrong with our texture. Instead, it is the UV map of the object that has problems. If you don't know what a UV map is, don't worry, we're going to learn now. Let's change our tab again to the UV editing at the very top. We can see our image to the left and our object to the right. Our object might be in solid shading, so let's hover over the side of our screen and use the Z key and select the material preview shading. Okay, now we can explain what is going on here and what are UVs. UVs are the mapping of your texture onto the 3D object. Here are a few examples I found online to illustrate the principle. We are taking the texture that is a 2D image and telling Blender how to lay the image on top of the 3D mesh. This is called a UV map. So why is our UV map all messed up? Because our scaling is non-uniform on the object. We scale.
Okay. Open.
certain faces of our mesh when we were creating it. And
Will that work on mine? Okay, well, yeah. Great.
it means the UVs are confused on how they should look.
Okay, so now it just mine a. Wait, why can I only see it if I got them selected? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so I've already smart projected it, which is not perfect, but it's good enough. Oh gosh, I've got so many fighting faces. What happens if I delete that face? That actually looks cooler. Yeah, let's do it on the other side. It's kind of delicate now. Let's do the same. Does that go right through? Okay, so I don't want that actually to be right. Okay, so now actually let's just 1, 2, 3, 4, make a face there. No, come on. Make a face there. And then using that, this, no, this, make a face there. Make a face there. No, actually, it's 3. Alt E along normals. Wait, no. Maybe inset. What did I do? Nope. Alt E. No. No. Nope. Wait, no. E. EX. Wait, no. Let's make that a specific amount. EX 0.25. 0.5. 0.7. There we go. EX negative 0.7. And then material, I want a new material for that called, and then we want some sort of emissive here. Let's make that like a yellow, and then we can go into rendered. Wait, why is it not? Oh. Lady. There we go. Shift. Assign. There we go. We get that emission going on. Yeah, all right. Huh, it's not really doing much. Maybe if I had some other thing. Why is it not emitting? Why is it not emitting? Huh. Whatever. Okay, so it is emitting. Whatever. It's fine, I don't really care. Let's get this kind of futuristic lamppost that I kind of like. Actually, let's just shift, E extrude that up just a tiny bit. Extrude that out. Again, just a tiny bit. Oh. Anyway, I am getting distracted. Smart project. Why can't I see the UV view? Okay, whatever. It is applying, well, it's not applying very well. Maybe I do need a light. Shift A. Alright, I'm edit mode. Shift A. Light. Sun. Wait. Point. Spot. Here we go. Let's and are we in rendered? We are in rendered. Why is this not? What the hell? Shading. Base color. Roughness. Let's make it some attack, and then if we go back into modeling, we'll make that material preview or rendered. Light's still doing nothing. Object mode. Okay, well that light's doing something, but this light. Okay, so it just takes a lot. Okay. Make the strength like 500. And then let's put Cuban scene. What color is this? Make that red. I can't see any red whatsoever from this emission. Are we sure it's let's wait, let's see. Face orientation. Okay, now tap into edit mode. Alt and flip. Now I should be able to see some red here. So I just need to make this like 5,000. Why are you not emitting? Okay, so those two are. What, Alt and recalculate outside. Oh, come on. Alt and. Why is it? Okay. Alt and flip. Alt and flip. Go. Yeah, whatever. This is kind of relevant to the tutorial. I'm just getting distracted here.
Play. We can see this if we click on the top faces of the torch. The flat shape of the UV to our left resembles the face on our model.
Okay, so if we go to UV edit, not UV editing. If we go to shading, and we can see the dithering. And yeah, why does it look good in here but not in here? Well, okay. Let's turn face orientation off. Okay, so it's getting lit, but it's not sending out light. What if we set the strength to 0? Okay, so this is. Wait, let's see. Material. So these are both red. That's great. Emission. Okay, so that is emitting something. But this cube is not receiving it. Oh, maybe it is actually. Let's turn every other light off. Nope, still not. Okay, it's slightly red. I don't know. Whatever, I don't know how emission works. I'm not going to worry about it. Let's just get rid of both lights and this emissive property as well. And then we can just, yeah, there we go. But now it's dark, so let's Shift A, light point. Where did I put it? Okay, GZ. That's the scale. Oh wait, no. X. Shift A. Sun. G Z. S to scale. Make that color red. Turn the strength all the way up. There we go. Now we're cooking. Can we see the texture? We can't really see the texture. Oh, okay.
To our right. If we now click down on the square section where we scaled and extruded, you can see the UVs do not resemble the shape at all. All these issues have a simple fix. Simply return to object mode, make sure the torch is selected, and hit Ctrl A to access the apply menu. Now we can apply all the transforms, which will fix our scaling issues. So our model is not fixed just yet. Our scaling is now corrected, and we need to tell Blender to remap the UVs on the object. This is called unwrapping the object. Let's prepare to unwrap our object now by switching to editing mode. So we need to add seams to our model to tell Blender how to unwrap it properly. A seam is where the model will have separation on the UVs. It is easier to show you than to explain. We want to select the side edges of the mesh and then mark them as seams. We can switch to edge selection at the top left and then select the edges we want. These are lines our UVs will separate at when unwrapping. Just stick with me and it'll make sense. We want to select the outer edges of the model. To do so, we use a combination of the Shift key to select multiple edges and the Alt key to select entire loops. This can be more complicated on a complex model, and we will show an automatic way to do this, but having a moderate understanding of UVs is important for a game developer. Once we have them selected, let's mark them by right-clicking on them and selecting Mark Seam. The lines now have an orange highlight to them, denoting them as seams. Now we have added seams to the model, we can finally unwrap it. In edit mode, we can press A to select all the geometry on the model. This should highlight the entire torch. And now we need to access the UV options in the editing viewport ribbon. If your screen is concealing the options like mine is, click the ribbon with the middle mouse button and drag it to the left. We are looking for the UV button. Click it and then select the option Unwrap at the very top of the drop-down. Your model's textures should now look a little better on the model. You can click on the faces of the model to edit them individually. I'm okay with this for now. Let's add our normal texture to our material and be done with it.
Okay, normal, nice.
Before we do that, I want to demonstrate the automatic way I alluded to earlier. We can basically ask Blender to project the seams onto our object by going to the UV button again in the editing menu and choosing the Smart UV projection. Make sure you have the entire model selected or it won't know what you want to project. It attempts to unwrap your shape by creating its own imaginary seams. This works pretty well for simple geometry. Adding the normal texture. So this is the same as when we added the image texture a few minutes ago. First, we will go back to the shading tab at the very top of the screen. Next, we will click the add button in the node menu. Select the texture submenu and then select the image texture option.
Okay, add, so let's see, shading. No, that's sculpting. I want shading. Heck. Add texture. Texture. Open. Wait, if I go back to modeling, well, yeah, you can see some of it. I go back to shading. Okay, now add. So that should be Shift A, right? Texture, image texture. open, normal. I guess I just put that normal. Now if we look at it in modeling, rendered, does that make a difference? I can't tell. Let's check out shading. Oh, well, on this part, wait. Why only on this part? Huh. Also, like that part has a different texture. This one has. Huh. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we want. Okay, so Alt, no, A Shift, no, Shift, Alt. Heck. We want this sign now. Wait, in the shading, material. Oh, okay. So that. Okay, so now Shift A, texture, image texture, boom. Okay, open that. Open that. Put that. Take this color. Put it into this normal. There we go. Now we go here, and we don't want that normal. Oh, wait, no, we got, all right. We don't want this normal. Instead we want like an italic. Actually, we don't even want that base color. Okay, well this looks. The resolution here looks weird. Repeat. Click. Repeat. Flat. Nope. Flat. Okay. Linear cubic. And then in modeling. Feature preview. And assign both of these to this. There we go. Now in UV editing, or in shading. Mission. Make that red. And if you go back to modeling, okay, I don't like how this emission thing works, but we've got the basics of normal maps and texture again, even though the normal map is really low resolution for some reason. Is there a way to like increase the resolution on that? No, okay. Why does linear look weird specifically right on that face? Huh. Smart. Cubic. Closest. Linear. Okay, whatever. Like that. Alright, let's metallic, increase the roughness. Wait, why does it? Oh. Now you can really see the normals. Oh, and this is that way because there's a, wait, let me go into modeling. Okay, so, right, because this part, I guess, in the UV wasn't, let's see, UV. Rendered. Huh. So there's a part of that that's like not messed up at all. Interesting. Okay, what about this part? That's right over here. And those are relatively smooth because it's oh, in the normal, not in the normal. Here we go. Yeah, so it's very smooth right here in the normal, so that means it's very smooth over here. So you can see here that's a lot of got a lot of smooth parts of the normal. Yeah, so you got this huge smooth patch right here, which translates there. Ooh.
This creates the image texture node so we can select our normal texture. Go ahead and do this now. Now, we cannot just plug this node into the material directly, we need a helper node in between to interpret the data correctly.
Oh, come
So
on.
we click the add button again, and this time click on the search option. Type normal map and then select that option. We then plug the normal texture into this node, and the output of the normal map node goes to the material in the normal slot.
Okay, but wait, it works here. Why is it? Okay, whatever. I'll just do what it says. Add. Find more. What? Add. Normal map, there we go. So we go here. I can't decide if that looks better or not. It certainly looks different, and I don't know why. It's pretty. I don't know. Then we can. What if I? Oh, you can decrease the strength of the normal map. That's interesting. So we can go down to like.
So we click the add button again, and this time click on the search option. Type normal map and then select that option. We then plug the normal texture into this node, and the output of the normal map node goes to the material in the normal slot. This gives our material an understanding of how light should be applied to the object. We will not add any other maps to the material if it is not needed. I'm trying to introduce everyone to the ideas at a lightning pace without being too boring. Adding more images or maps to the material will make it look better by adding more definition. We're not trying to make the next Skyrim here, so we're only going to add these two maps.
I love that Skyrim is this example of a really good looking game. Ugh. Okay, we're nearing 4 hours. How's my... Wow. 17, yeah, so... People just haven't been watching me in like 2 hours. That's fine. Alright, yeah. We're nearing 4 hours. I'm starting to get tired. I think I'm going to keep... This is fun. I'm going to keep doing this. We're at 26. Yeah. I'm going to end stream here. Thank you to everyone for coming. Let me just make sure let's get that. File, save as. That's for YouTube. Timestamp Blender video. Great. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to stop streaming for now. Thanks everyone for coming, and I'm going to keep doing this. This is fun. I've learned a lot. I think I might do an unscheduled stream. Just like next time I feel like doing more of this, I'll just stream because there's no reason not to. All right. Have a lovely rest of your day, everybody.